Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Just got our latest shipment from Battlebox. Let's check it out. As you can see, we're at mission 86. If you're not familiar with Battlebox, they have a variety of levels. You're gonna pay a certain amount of money. They're gonna pick gear and send it to you each month. And basically the amount you pay, you're gonna get more value based on the value of the items that they send to you. If you go to the highest level, which is the Pro Plus level, you will be getting a bladed object each month. So they call it the knife of the month. Sometimes it's an axe, a knife, a multi-tool, folding knife, fixed blade, you know, lots of different options when it comes to the knife of the month club. But let's jump in and see what they sent us this month. All right, here's the first item. This is from a company called Tactica, T-A-C-T-I-C-A. You can see it down there on the bottom. And they're calling this the camping card multi-tool. So on the back, it's got the information. It's got a rope tensioner, an inch ruler, tent peg puller, pry bar, ferro rod striker, sundial, bottle opener, ferro rod striker on the other side, rope cutter, metric ruler, flat screwdriver, and a can opener. I'll just hold that up and you can pause the video if you want to see those things in detail. So heads up when you do unbox it, the fire steel or the ferro rod might fall out, so just be aware of that. So that is what it looks like. I mean, obviously you can see initially, just look at it from the back without any of the markings on it, you can see, oh yeah, that's a bottle opener. So now you got a bottle opener. You do get the fire steel here, and you can see this little rubberized section. It's got a hole up top, so I'm guessing this slides in here like so. See if I can secure that. So that's what it looks like when you put the ferro rod in there. I'll just push that in so it's nice and secure. And I'll hold it for you like that. That's about how far the ferro rod is gonna stick out. And then you get that little slot at the bottom. Then you're gonna slide it up like this. Right, so that should kind of lock in. So you do have the fire steel there with you. I'm not sure how secure that fire steel is going to be. You know, I wouldn't just like throw this on the outside of a pack and have it be jostling around, but you know, throw it in a pouch or something. But then you got your fire steel. There's a little blade here, you can tell, kind of on the inside of this side. You do have, you know, your rulers. Tent peg puller is this larger section. So, you know, grab a hold of it and I guess you can kind of take out the ferro rod and then pull this thing out. These type of card multi-tools, there's pluses and minuses to them. Let's see what the value is. So they're calling this a $35 value. No. Sorry, just shooting straight with you guys. I like Battlebox, I've supported them for years, but every once in a while a product comes in there and I'm like, yeah, that's a little bit high. That seems really high to me for this. I just wouldn't pay 35 bucks for this. So cool little tool. If it was, you know, 10 bucks, I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool. You can throw that in a bag or something, but not 35 bucks. Anyhow, that's our first item in this month's Battlebox. Item number 2 is this from Outdoor Element. This is a pot gripper, as you can see. So if you've ever like had a pot on a stove, you basically have the lip of it. This thing comes down, you hold it, now you can pick it up without burning yourself. This other little feature is cool. So this is for recycling fuel canisters, right? So if you have one of those fuel canisters, you use them with your stove and you're done with it. It's got a tiny bit of gas. You need to get a new one anyhow. This allows you basically to put that little peg, that little, it's almost like a ratchet sort of, on top of it, crank it open, let out the tiny extra bit of fuel, then it's empty, then you can easily recycle it. So value for this is 15 bucks. I think having a pot holder, especially this thing is super lightweight. Having a pot holder is a great idea, especially if you're camping, right? If you're like doing a survival thing and you gotta like get some sticks to move a pot out of the fire, okay. But if you're camping, man, I always have one of these in my mess kit, my food kit. I keep it inside the pot when I'm out there backpacking, and then just makes the whole process easier. So that for me, 15 bucks, looks cool, looks fun. It is functional. I've used these before. And then having this extra little thing, I think that's kind of a cool addition to the product. So this is item number 2. Again, this is called a handled, and yeah, 15 bucks, cool item. All right, our third item is this from SOL. It's the Firelight Fuel Cubes. And I do like SOL's products. Now, one thing that's interesting about SOL is that you can find them in like Walmart, but you can also find them in like EMS, REI, you know, Kittery Trading Post, which is a local store here, just across the border in Maine, like a legit outdoor hunting store, camping store. So you can find them in kind of low-end budget camping and also more serious outdoor stores as well. So there's what they look like. And we've got 6 here and then another 6 in there. As soon as I opened these up, I thought these were gonna be like fire starters for making a fire, which you can use them that way. Just show you in there, show you the back. So it looks like it's liquid, but it's like a solidified kind of gel. But you can also use these for those tiny little camping stoves. I have one from a company I think called Dragon, if I remember correctly. But your tiny little camping stoves that use these type of fuel packets, now you've got those as well. These are only $8, so not a high cost item, but this to me is not necessarily to put in an emergency kit or, you know, a survival bag or something like that, but for backpacking, camping, maybe you don't have room to bring a larger thing of fuel, or you just want something small and lightweight, you can use these for cooking. I've never used these actual ones from SOL, but I've used other similar products, the cubes more than the kind of liquid. But yeah, so another cool item, $8, not a high cost item, but definitely nice to have in a camping kit. This is from Cali Loja. They've sent other items in Battlebox from that company. This is a camp table valued at $45. I'm gonna set this thing up. I can tell you already, I like this a lot because this is not something I'm gonna throw in a backpack for a long excursion deep into the wilderness, but you're likely gonna see this in future videos because this could be something I can set up. So while I'm doing reviews, I can place items on a table. And then, you know, when you're out in the woods, you're doing some front country camping, now you got a table to chop up some vegetables when you're cooking or put items on. I just think it's great to have something simple as this and functional like this and lightweight and compact. So let's set this thing up. All right, so once you get the legs set up, there's it's kind of like a little cutout there, and that goes over this little lip on all four corners, and then good to go. As you can see, mine's a little wonky. I just need to pull it over, but you can see, I mean, it's lightweight. Once it's set up and it's gonna be solid. I wouldn't put it on this rock normally. It's gonna sit probably about 3 feet off the ground, but yes, this is awesome. And looks like it's made out of some sort of lightweight, you know, aluminum or something like that. So you're not gonna be, I wouldn't recommend sitting on the thing, but definitely a win. Next up, valued at $25, is the Klymit Pillow X inflatable pillow. I'll show you here on camera. One thing I like about Klymit is because the way that it's built with kind of like the tubes and then a space and tubes and a space, relatively easy to inflate. So let me do this on camera, see how long it takes to inflate this guy. So that's what it looks like. Kind of stuck together, but that's it. A little bit lightheaded, but there you go. There's your inflatable pillow. And as you can see, packs up in something that small. So I do like Klymit products. You know, they work well for me. I've got like an inflatable sort of like resting chair that's made out of obviously inflatable material. I think I already have one of these pillows, and I do have a mat which they've also sent. But still, they're good products. So there's the pillow, valued at $25. You also get an inflatable mattress, which I'll show to you now. So here's the Static V2 from Klymit, valued at about $70. And this thing is going to be, let's see, 72 by 23 with a thickness of 2.5 inches. And you can see there, it's got those ridges in it. I'll tell you, for me, the older I get, the thicker I want a mattress. So I may use 2 of these together, camping or, you know, in the backcountry for sleeping. But I love the fact that it's that compact. I originally had, probably like you guys did, one of those closed cell, like blue foam, you know, camping mats, pads, whatever you want to call it, rolled up. You put it on the bottom of your pack. It's this big by this around. Then I got a Thermarest, which was not as big around, but just as long, and you put it on the outside of your pack. I mean, think about that now. That thing is like, it's probably a little bit more than half as wide, but you know, 1/6, 1/7 the length. And yeah, I mean, nice to have a camping pad that you can just throw into. I mean, you could even carry that in a haversack if you wanted to. But that's the next item, and I'll roll in some footage here right now so you can see what it looks like inflated, but just don't want to take the time to do that right now on camera. But as you can see, because I've used these before, solid 72 inches, so I'm 6'2", so that's nice. It's not a really short one. The 3/4 ones I have no use for because then my feet or my head are cold all night because something's falling off. And anyhow, Klymit Static V2 sleeping pad, valued at $70. All right, for our knife of the month, we have something coming. For our knife of the month, we have something coming to us from Atac. This is called the Phantom. It is in VG10 steel, which I do like as a steel. We're gonna use the Squid XM to unbox this guy. So VG10 steel, I've had good experience with. I often refer to, I think it's the Spyderco Enough, if I remember the name properly. I can tell you as soon as I take this out, this is a handsome looking blade. Let me show it to you. That's what it looks like. Got a flipper there. Got to open it. You could probably open it like so, but I'm going to flip it. There you go. Atac VG10 steel. Hands are a little bit chilly this morning. So you got kind of a gray, and then you've got this, like these copper tones there for your clip, your spacer. Looks like the blade, we'd have a coated blade there. Lockup is like very, very solid. See if you can see that. It's a handsome looking knife. This reminds me of the first knife I think that Olight put out when they started making knives, you know, 6 months ago or something like that. So they do note here that VG10 is a stainless steel. It's 4.41 ounces for your weight. And yeah, it's kind of a slick looking knife. EDC friendly. Value for this is at $109. That seems a little bit high to me for this knife, honestly. You know, spend $109, you can get some other stuff. I would drop the price a bit. I'm not familiar with Atac, so I think that's a bit high, but I will say it is a nice looking knife. So that's our final item in this month's Battlebox. All right, I will say here, I just checked it out a little bit more. I do think, I mean, it's a frame lock, but I do think we've got some, it's not traveling past you know, the pivot point, but it's quite far over, and it's, when you get it, it's gonna take a little working in to be able to push it to the side and then swing this down to lock it up. So probably, and because of that, when you flip, you got to kind of commit to the process. So just a heads up there that it's, yeah, I mean, it's, you've got probably an 80% line up there between, you know, where the end of your blade comes and then the frame lock end of your blade steel comes, and then your frame lock lines up. So in my experience, over travel is when it goes, how I define over travel is when it goes all the way beyond and it's actually hanging over beyond where the blade steel is. So it's not over traveling, but it's traveling quite far. I'd like to see it come back a tiny bit so it was easier to close up, but just a heads up on that with this knife. All right, so as I often remind folks, this is not a full review of all these items. It's more of a heads up about the items. I do like the handled pot gripper, which I've got right here. I do really like the table. I think that's gonna be a win. Klymit makes good products. For me, those are not a major win because I've already got those exact two products that I got, you know, years ago, but they are good products. What's the first item? That little kind of not keychain, but card tool. Like I said, I think it's overpriced. This knife I think is a little bit high on the price, so I would drop the price down for that. And then also just the lockup. Yeah, I would just charge less for that. VG10 I do like as a steel, like I said, but if this is more around like 70, 80 bucks, 80 bucks even high, 70 bucks, I would say, okay, maybe that's a more reasonable range for this knife. As far as from, you know, terrible to the most amazing box ever, I put this in a, you know, a good category. I don't think it's great. I think it's a good box. Some good gear. Again, the constant challenge, and I say this every month, I feel like, but the constant challenge is, do you want someone else to buy gear for you? I think overall these guys do a good job picking out gear, and especially stuff that you probably never heard of before. I've never definitely heard of before. There's always kind of surprise new items, so I do like that. Again, as a reviewer, I don't have to pay for the boxes. They send them to me to let you guys know about them. But again, I put this in the good category. It's above average. It's not great or amazing, but, you know, a solid box. That's my opinion. Let's hear your thoughts in the comment section now. Sound off. Let us know what you think about the gear in this box, Battlebox in general. And if you've subscribed to Battlebox, let's hear about your experience, and let's get that conversation started in the comment section now. All right, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.